Now I want to get into a little bit about what are mantras and, why should we even bother chanting them and how can we chant them? And then we're going to do some mantra chanting, mantra singing together, which I'm super looking forward to. So mantra is it's a sacred word. It's a sacred syllable or syllables together, creating a word or a phrase that is deeply imbued with meaning. The idea of mantra chanting comes from Hinduism, and it dates back really to the origin of Hinduism from the Rig Vedic time, when the priests or the rishis of the time would basically go into a trance. And what came out of this trance were texts, were divine wisdom, were rules for life, and these were often shared as mantra, as chants. So it dates back to this time. But interestingly, it is not Hinduism that owns the world of mantra. The idea of chanting, it goes all the way back to the origin of people. So we can look at the indigenous societies of the world, for example, the Australian Aboriginals, and their culture is deeply, deeply, deeply imbued with chanting. They have different chants for many different things, from sharing the rules and the lore of their culture and of their life to expressing their relationship to the landscape, which is very important to them, to, and I find this incredible, they actually have what are called song lines. And these are similar to traditional maps, so like a navigational map. And people of the time would chant these songs in a specific order, and that would be the way that they would walk across the Australian desert, like thousands of kilometers, and not get lost, because the songs themselves have all of this different information about landmarks and the connection to the landscape. So this blows my mind, to be honest. And I want to share that because this idea of chanting, it goes all the way back. It's so much a part of our human experience. Mantra itself, the word mantra, is a Sanskrit word. And when we look at it together, it means to cross over. It's a vehicle to cross the mind. And this is really what's happening when we sing mantra, when we chant mantra. Mantra is a tool. It helps us to, as I said earlier, to get through this busyness of mind, of emotion that we're all in. It helps us to get through this and to come into this other space of ease, of freedom, of connection with the divine. So this is the history of mantra. This is a little bit about what mantra is. And I want to share something about the idea of experiencing mantra with you, because for me, these are the things that I think about when I chant or when I sing. And before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about the idea of bhakti. Bhakti is one of the 6 forms of modern yoga. Bhakti means devotion. Again, I come from a background to mantra from Sufism, so I have this whole other perspective on it. And in Sufism, when we chant zikr, it's like we throw ourselves violently into the fire, like and every repetition of the mantra is this like this throwing of the heart, this complete like just smashing yourself into the new birth. And that's kind of a little bit about what I want to share with you from my approach, because for me this is such a frenzy in love. It's such a frenzy of love. So in Sufism, we have this idea that the heart is like a beautiful diamond. It's this vibrant, majestic diamond, and all of the light and all of our divinity is, anchored in the heart. But through life, and perhaps if you want through karma, all of these things happen which cloud or cover the heart. It's like having a little veil over the heart. It gets a little dusty. If you have something sitting in the room that you haven't cleaned for a while, it gets a little dusty. And the idea with mantra or zikr chanting is that with every repetition, we polish the heart. We clean the heart. If you've ever seen the whirling dervishes, these are the dances from Sufism. They dance, they revolve, And this is the same thing. They are revolving around their heart. They are polishing the heart. They twirl to polish the heart, yeah, to amplify, to connect themselves to this divine love that is inside of them, to cross over the mind, to cross over the story that we are separate, to transcend. And I think this is so beautiful. And so when I sing mantra, when I chant mantra, and how I want to share it with you is that I come to it from this place of love. I come to it from this place of service. I come to it as though I bow myself at the altar of my heart to the beloved. Yeah, and everything that comes out of my mouth is a turning. Yeah, I am turning around the heart. I am giving myself again and again and again to the beloved, because I long for the communion. I long to feel that oneness, and that is the essence of how I approach mantra and how I approach zikr. So I wanted to share that with you because perhaps it's something that you would like to try. This idea of coming to this space, coming to your heart, imagining your heart as an altar, and bowing yourself in worship before your own heart to the divine.